It is time for the second episode of our new show, Around the Orn, a totally original creation by us here at Excellency Heavy League. Today we have our guests Finnick, Camcom, and from the two teams competing today, AOE Unleashed and SDC Death Cards, we have Paxax from AOE Unleashed. We've got Heacher from SDC Death Cards. Gentlemen, welcome to the game.
You.
Pleasure to be here.
Alrighty, with that, we have explained the rules a little bit to Paxax and Heacher, but we will remind the chat that this is a lot like Lane by Lane, a lot like Around the Horn from days old. We will ask an open forum question, and we will give some time for each contestant to give their answers, at which point I, Jesus Christ, God, Arbitrator, will arbitrarily determine what points they get, depending on whether I like them or not. So we'll see how it goes for all of our contestants as we do get started with our first question of the night. All right, let's see. What do we have here, Mr. Maker? Okay, first question, starting with Mr. Finnick. There it is. What is going to be our most exciting matchup tonight? Finnick, you are on the clock. What do you got for us?
It has to be. It has to be the AD carry matchup with Paxax up against...
Up against?
Sorry.
I'm no!
It's not COVID, I swear. It's not COVID, I swear. It's Paxax is up against... see, this is what happens when I don't do my research.
Ba-ding, ba-ding,
One
ba-ding.
Poppy. There we go.
Ba-ding.
I'm so dumb. All right, just give it to Cam. All
Ba-ding.
right, I literally did all this
Ba-ding.
research and I forgot the player names. Go ahead. Go.
All right, Cam, carry on.
Oh no.
Can you skip me for a second?
Nope.
Okay. Favorite matchup. So, do you mean favorite matchup as in game
what
matchup?
What would be the most
or
exciting
lane?
matchup in the series tonight?
In the series. Okay, so lane matchup.
This is an open-ended question, Cam. You can decide how you want this to play out.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood the question. I understood it as game, and I was actually going to go with the game that we're watching tonight, Death Cards versus AOE Unleashed, as the closest game. I am understanding the question as game, not as lane. I'm sorry. I'm going to lose 10 points now.
It can be either. Which one would you like to go with?
Game!
Okay. So that is going to be our most exciting matchup game. Why?
Why? I think that these teams are definitely very close in the standings. We did have both of the AOE teams play their series against each other, Hope going 2-1 over Unleashed. So now we get to see Unleashed going against a current first seed to try and see if they're able to make it into the top 3 here. And I think that is very exciting. And the other games are very exciting as well. But this one we get to watch on stream, which just ups the exciting factor even more, I think.
Keep that line in mind, everybody. The other games are going to be exciting. The casters are going to be making some predictions later. So, Campbell, we'll see how that one holds up for you. Moving on, Paxax. Most exciting matchup. We've already had the precedent set, so you can pick either the game or you can pick a lane matchup or jungle matchup from your matchup tonight.
I'm gonna pick probably like lane/jungle. I think it'll be like mid jungle will be the best to watch in our game.
All right.
Yeah, because both of them play like heavy carry and extremely strong. So I think both teams will be a good matchup to watch. And bot lane is gonna be, it's bot lane. It's farm.
It's
I feel
farm.
that.
His own. This is the honorable man right here. His own lane. He's pushing it to the side. He's saying, "Nope, this is a mid jungle tonight for Mel Scout and company up against SDC Death Cards." That's some extra points for honorable stuff. Sure. Moving on to you. Most exciting matchup on the night.
So, I don't know if many people know this, but me and Mr. Ravencat are actually decent friends. We've known each other for a few months, and behind the scenes, we might have agreed to have a fun matchup of Yumi versus Rakata.
Okay.
Ba-ding. Let's go, baby. Okay. Now, all these points are coming off the boards if we don't actually see this tonight, Heacher, so I will retroactively take these away. We have been promised a spicy matchup in the top lane. Our eyes will be drilled onto that matchup. So this is a tenuous 15 points that you have for yourself and a first round lead after that answer, and I'll be watching closely.
I mean, as long as he doesn't snake on me, so.
There you go. Perfect. That's what we like to hear. Okay, we will move it on to question number 2. Let's see what we have on the board for ourselves. This one gonna be okay. This one a little more champion focused. So starting with Cam, which champion would you pick, Cam, to get you through a zombie apocalypse?
Brand, 100% every single time. This question is rigged, actually, because
You
he pressed.
stole it. You stole my answer. You
Brand,
stole my answer.
It's the easiest. Actually, yeah, Bran. I gotta go with Bran. He's got the best zombie skin in the game. Yes, there is Zombie Nunu, but I think Zombie Nunu is his worst skin and Zombie Brand in his best skin. So, going based off of skins, he got that. Going based off of AOE damage, he's got that as well. And then he's burning them, which, as far as I know, burn does extra damage to zombies based on the games that I've played before with zombies. So I'm gonna go with a hard Brand.
So I like this answer, Cam, except for one thing. The question is getting you through the zombie apocalypse, and you just
I'm gonna kill him.
You just actively elected to take a zombie along with you. I'm gonna be taking some points away for that.
No, he's my friend zombie.
Yes, but he is a zombie, Cam. This is
He's
the
my
zombie
zombie.
apocalypse. No.
He kills all the other zombies 'cause he's my friend.
No.
Like
Paxax,
Ivern with monsters.
we're done here. Paxax, what do you got?
You don't get it, man. It's okay.
For surviving a zombie apocalypse, I'm gonna have to go with Heimerdinger, because he could just spawn turrets and we don't have to do anything.
Okay, I like this.
He just handles it all.
Heimerdinger, pretty smart answer. A lot of turrets coming out. He's a smart dude as well, so could continually come up with things. He's not a zombie, so he won't actually eat you as soon as it starts.
Oh
this is good. This is good progress. Heacher, moving on to you. What do you got?
I'd go with Kindred. You know, the god of life and death. Probably,
Okay,
yeah. Not let me die.
This makes a lot of sense. There's an ulti there to keep you alive. You got a dash. You got Lamb and Wolf. I'm a big fan of this answer. See, this is logic. This is staying alive.
Mine is logic too.
It is bad logic, maybe. All right, Finnick, you have a chance to redeem yourself after round number 1. What do you got for me?
Well, so here's the thing, right? I'm gonna say a champion. You're gonna laugh at me, but it's Anivia. She clears waves better than every other champion in the game. Does so much AOE damage.
She does
right?
fly.
And she does fly, so I can just get on her back and like stay out of range of all of these zombies, like stay up above the ground as well. Plus, she puts down the glacial storm, and these zombies just keep on running into it and dying. Have you seen AD carries? They just stand in the middle of glacial storm. They do not move out of it at all. So come on, man, it has to be my burb.
Good roll.
This is a good answer. This is a solid answer. This is very good redemption from round 1. I hard agree with you that this is a good pick. And for those of you that did watch World War Z, a lot of zombies did get frozen in the North Pole in that movie. So big props on this answer. This is a good we could have a redemption arc coming here, Finnick. You got some ground to make up still.
Only -3.
We're doing all right. We're doing all right. All right, question number 3. We are starting with Paxax, and this might get a little personal, but
here we go.
Which player in your matchup tonight against SDC Death Cards is going to die the most?
Ooh.
That's a good one, actually. I don't know. I haven't actually watched any of their matches, so I don't know. I don't know who normally runs it. I plan on always giving Mel Scout's life instead of mine. But for their team, I'm not sure.
All right,
probably,
so
I want to say support because support has to sack for the AD carry whether they want to or not. It's just the role.
That's true. So who's the bigger support for you than Mel Scout, or is it your actual support?
I like letting Melsko die. It's fun.
All right, Scout is going to be the pick here, and I'm a fan of this one. We've seen Mel Scout on the on some public appearances before, so we'll see how many times he's gonna sack for the team tonight. Nice answer there, Heacher. On to you. Who will die the most in tonight's matchup?
That's a good question. I'm gonna go with me if I'm playing Yumi top. I think I'm gonna die a lot.
But you're Yumi. After lane phase, nothing should happen.
That's true.
That
No,
is
but,
true.
like, I don't know. You got a lot of jungle dive pressure, you know? Pick something with CC, put the
That's
Soraka
true.
route under me. I mean, as Yumi.
That's true. That's true.
What do you? It's very, very true. You are just a cat in that scenario, so I suppose that this is a fair answer. We'll see how many games that there is of that, but yeah, nothing wrong with seeing a little bit of violence on Yumi. I don't think anyone would have a problem with that. I certainly wouldn't. So that's a positive answer coming in from Keecher. Finnick, back on over to you.
All right, so I was going to go with Mel Scout, but since Paxax already did that one, I'm going to go Mr. Ravencat. And I have the stats to back this up. Throughout the season, of all the players that are currently in there, or that are currently playing tonight, he has the lowest season-long KDA of 2.37. Still a positive KDA, mind you. Every player in this game has a positive KDA throughout the season, right? But just statistically speaking, Mr. Ravencat, I believe, is going to be the most likely to die that isn't named Mel Scout, because I do think Mel Scout is probably actually the one who's going to die the most. But I got to go with Ravencat. I mean, he can play weak side, he can play strong side. So, if he's on a strong side top laner, perhaps he actually doesn't do that. I think, especially if he's given weak side, especially if you're giving all the space for Paxax to farm, it has to be Mr. Ravencat.
All right, I love having the stats to back you up, Finnick. First stats-based answer we've had tonight. Big points for that one. Cam, wrap us up here. You got to turn this one around after that last answer.
I mean, I would love to go with a stats-based answer, right? But based on my last answer, we're trying to make friends here. You know who else tries to make friends? Is junglers. So I gotta go with Mel Scout as well. We seeing him here now today, just like everyone else has been saying. Mel Scout, I gotta vote for you here. I'm sorry. Maybe you'll prove me wrong. Maybe it's actually gonna be no right. Maybe I'm just expecting jungle to be very bloody.
This is a.
You stole an answer.
I
don't
like
know what
the
you're
answer, but
expecting
this is a
points for.
copycat answer. We are minus points to that one. We are minus.
Oh
points.
my gosh, I'm losing to Finnick now. I didn't think that was possible.
No creativity. Okay, our last question of the night going to be, what is your Earth pick? What is your Earth pick, Heacher? You get to start us off.
I'm a big Lee Sin player, and honestly, probably one of the most fun champions in Earth. You can just do so much. So many dashes. It's really fun.
Lee Sin, the Earth pick for Heacher. That's a fun one. That's a lot of kicks coming in. That's a lot of kicks. A lot of nice dashing around. We do see a lot of Lee Sin at the moment, of course, and it feels like his cooldown sometimes maybe Earth mode already, but that is a fun one for Earth. Finnick, what do you got?
Okay, it has to be Urgot, all right? Has to be Urgot. Some of his cooldowns are already low in lane, right? But, sometimes, Earth just makes them even more spammable abilities. Especially when you have that turret, you're going to get a lot of damage on everybody else. Plus, when you have the ultimate available, something so powerful as an execute, right? On such a low cooldown on Earth, it just becomes that much better for picks, for making sure that you're able to consistently keep tempo and consistently keep pressure.
Okay, Urgot, I think this is an... I like the pick. It's fine. Fine. I'll take some. I won't take points away from you. I think there's some merit to Urgot, but he does just kind of like spam W and stand in a singular place. I prefer the dashy washy of the Lee Sin over the handy wandy of the Urgot a little bit. So Cam, you are at -10 going into the last question. You've got a lot of ground to make up. What do you got?
Yeah, I don't know how I'm at -10, actually. I think that should be, like, positive 100. I think you should, like, reverse that and add a 0, so I'm gonna pretend like I'm at 10 points right now, but before a certain recent patch, I would have actually answered this as Nami because she has W healing and W damage plus a shield plus a slow. That is everything you could possibly want on an Earth champion. Earth champion,
Plus
right?
she has the skin.
But then that's true. She gets skin buff on the map as well. But recent patch, a Mumu double Q buff with Earth CDR. You cannot tell me that is not the most broken thing ever. He doesn't die. Very tanky. Does all the damage. Plus he gives his team extra damage with his passive. Plus his ultimate is like the greatest thing on Earth you could ever dream for. So I got to go hard on Mumu. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the fish fans. It's gotta be a Mumu.
Okay, question. Are you solo laning or are you duo laning with a
Doesn't
Mumu?
matter.
Nope, nope. I need an
cracked
answer.
out of his
Nope,
mind.
I need an answer. Are you solo laning or are you duo laning in Earth with the Samumu?
I mean, in Earth, I think you could probably high econ a Mumu. I think high econ a Mumu would be a little better than low econ, so I would say solo lane, but that does not mean that low econ is not good either, because all you gotta do is
I believe the answer should be duo lane. I'm
No.
gonna
I
be
believe
real.
the
Solo
answer
lane.
The answer
Yeah,
is
right.
solo
With
lane
the
because a
Mumu
Mumu's not
support
allowed to
being
have
unironically
friends
good
by
right
the
now?
lore.
Yo, Fennec,
Cam
I'm
has
beating you now, by
answered.
the way. Where's your
Cam-
Mumu?
Cam has answered correctly. A Mumu's not allowed to have friends by lore
Sad
rules.
mummy.
Oh my
Good work,
gosh.
Cam.
Wow,
Good
look
work.
who's been reading the lore, man.
Sax, you have 18 points. You need to overcome Cam. I'm a huge Mumu fan, so Cam struck the right chord and got the lore right.
go.
What do you got for me, Sax?
There's two champions I love to play. Kaisa because she's just broken. If you get ahead, her Q and just auto and they're dead. That's literally just it. And then Fizz because you're just untargetable the entire fight. You Q in E, Zanya's Q, E, out. They're just dead.
I'm a big fan of the Fizz. The Fizz is
Like
a
Fizz is
huge
just
troll
untargetable
pick.
late game.
It's another fish. That's true. I gotta go with
Yeah.
the fish angle.
Yeah, it's too broken. I love the Fizz in well, what I mean by it when I say I love the Fizz, I mean the Fizz kills me 1,000 times
Yeah.
in Earth, and it's horrible because that fish is on a 5-second cooldown. Now here's the question that could be the game. What skin are you taking on the
Oh.
Fizz?
Ooh.
That's a good one actually. I don't even know what skins Fizz has actually. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, you're gonna start losing points.
No. Come on. Think about this one, Sax.
How am I tied?
What is the question?
What happened?
You're playing.
Tundra?
You're playing what game mode?
Earth.
So what skin are you taking?
Is there an Earth Fizz skin? I don't know. I don't play Fizz. Like I only ever play him in Earth.
There is the Earth Fizz skin. I'll accept the fact that you don't play
Oh
Earth.
my
Sax.
gosh.
I will accept the fact that you do not play, that you
I
do
can't
not
farm
play
in
Fizz
Earth.
all that often. That is fine. We will give him the one extra
Maturity
point. The
theory.
Fizz answer will deliver us home. Paxax, you are around the Orn winner. You get 1 minute of free airtime. Nobody else can interrupt you.
dangerous.
Tell the people what you want to say.
I just want to farm. No, no, it's gonna be a fun game tonight. Either no matter how it goes out, whoever wins, I mean, obviously favored to us. Even though they are top seed. But I think it's gonna be a lot of fun tonight.
All
I don't even
right,
know what to do
looking.
with a full minute.
Yeah, hey, if he cedes the rest of his time, he cedes the rest of his time. It is his time to do what he pleases, but that is all the time that we have today for our second episode Around the Orn. Once again, big thank you to Sax and Heacher for joining us, and good luck to both of you in your matchup tonight. Again, SDC Death Cards at the top of the table, AOE Unleashed sitting in 4th place trying to make up the ground. They will be our featured matchup, so stick around to see more of them and all of the action happening tonight in Heavy League. With that, we will be throwing it over to our analyst desk to prep us for that match.
I believe we're doing predictions, DJ.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Before we
We
do
are doing
80.
predictions.
I was gonna
When I
say,
say
oh boy.
analyst desk, I mean all 4 of us. There you go.
It's the
I'm
bigger
here
desk.
now. What's up?
There's Axeman. He's in space. Welcome back
am in
from
space.
space,
He's
Axeman.
covered with bees. Yes.
Well,
Wait,
no,
wait,
he's
do you-
in space. Oh
you
my
guys see
gosh.
that? What's that in space? There's like some letters or something. What's going on over there? What does that say? It says Axe is the man. Huh. Pretty cool.
Hmm.
It's
Nobody,
Pretty cool that
nobody,
Space says that.
nobody acknowledged this. Nobody acknowledged this.
Nope,
Yeah.
not at all.
Pretty interesting.
All right, Axeman. You were not around the orange, so you've had plenty of time. It's time for our prediction segment. So we'll start with you. How you feeling about the matchups tonight? We'll run it down. We'll start with the one that we just talked about. SDC. Actually, we should save that one for last. That's our headline matchup.
Gotcha.
So let's look
Okay.
at the rest of the matchups for tonight. We'll start with Lotus versus 4 Monkeys, 1 Coach.
DJ, this should come as a surprise to no one, but I'm Mr. 3-0. I think Lotus is going to 3-0 4 Monkeys, 1 Coach. I don't say that with absolute certainty, and normally I do, right? You'll have a team that's just way out in front, and I'm Axeman. I'm here to say, yeah, that team is gonna curb stomp that team. Can't say that on Excellency. Shouldn't have said that. But this one is a little bit less certain, right? Because 4 Monkeys, 1 Coach have been having some better games in the last few weeks, and they've definitely been showing up. Whereas in week 1 they did not. So they're on that upward trajectory, which is the most important statistic to me. And I think if they were going to take a game off of Lotus, it would be this week.
All right, timing a big deal for 4 Monkeys, 1 Coach. Cam, do you have similar feelings?
I do, but I'm well known for not predicting 3-0s. Apparently now, I don't know how that happened. No, 2-1 in favor of Lotus, but I have an actual good reason for it, right? When you're this far down in the bracket, you're like 0-20. You don't know what to do. You've lost 3 Barons in a row. You know what you do? You go 50-50 every single fight. If you're able to do that, you're going to take at least 1 game, probably not 2, but hopefully at least 1 game here for 4 Monkeys. And I am a true believer in the coin flip potential right here. I am.
Big believer, Nick.
4 Monkeys, 1 Coach beat AOE Unleashed last week, guys.
I don't
I'm just
believe
saying.
that. I don't believe that happens.
It's 2-1 Lotus. I still think Lotus is the best team in the league, even though SDC Deathcard technically has 1 fewer loss than them in terms of games. So they also have 1 fewer game played due to the forfeit 2 weeks ago from 4 Monkeys, 1 Coach. But the thing is, 4 Monkeys, 1 Coach in that game 2 up against SDC Deathcards, they had winning chances that were realistic. They weren't, they're down about 10k. Like, they had the gold lead early. They should have won that game, or they should have been in a winning position going into the mid game if it weren't for the unfortunate disconnection of their jungler. So with that in mind, yes, I think Lotus is the best team in the league, but I also think 4 Monkeys, 1 Coach, we had them at the bottom of our power rankings for so long. They are on the rise. I think they're probably maybe even the 4th best team in the league at the moment. I think they can take a game off Lotus.
All right, 2-2-1s. I will join Axeman and say that this is a 3-0. I think Lotus will come back with a vengeance. I think they will handle business tonight. I am with Mr. Axe, so we'll split the desk 2-2 as we move on to our second matchup. AOE Hope versus MG Infusion. Cam, coming to you first this time.
Ooh, well, I gotta say, I am a very big MG fan. They were the first team that I got to interview. They were the first team that I met here in Heavy Leagues. That was very exciting. I got to connect with the support. We're both very strong Bard players. So I'm a very strong believer here in MG. But that being said, going against AOE...
Where's the butt? Where's the butt? There's the butt.
That being said, Bard, I mean, if you watched me on mid-league last season, No Fear Wolves, they had the only Bard main in the entire league. They did not win a game. I predicted them to win every single week. Did not matter, no fail. I always predicted them. MG, I'm going to go 2-1 in favor of MG against AOE Hope. I will.
Cam stepping up to the plate, believing in the Bard and MG Infusion. Finnick, do you share this belief? Your face tells me no.
Okay, so MG Infusion, I rated at the bottom of power rankings for the past 2 weeks. They started off, we think, strongly with, they had a 2-1 loss versus AOE Unleashed, who we placed very highly at the start of the season, but they have not won a single game, let alone series, since then. I put them at the bottom of my power rankings. I put AOE Hope as my number 2 team. This is a clear 3-0 for AOE Hope.
All right, Axeman, are you gonna join him on the 3-0 train?
Oh yeah, not sure what happened to the color corrections with the
I-
camera right now, but 100% yes, 3-0 for AOE. Talked about this on the weekly ward. Talked about this to anybody that'll listen. But AOE is a fantastic organization. I have infinite belief in them. And even against, you could look at the power rankings. There are teams that have just near perfect win rates records here, and I'm putting both AOE teams over top of them just because I know that they're going to be the best teams in the league. So yeah, AOE Hope over MG Infusion. I'll take AOE.
All right, that's
3-0.
2 3-0s. Will I split the desk again? No, I will not. This will be a 3-0 for AOE Hope. I actually cast the game between AOE Hope and AOE Unleashed on the AOE channel last week, so I have seen a good amount of AOE Hope, and I have a lot of faith that that team is pretty clean in their execution. They know what they're doing. They can turn around leads. They can get ahead in the early game, and I do not expect them to have any problems whatsoever with MG Infusion tonight as they make their push for a potential playoff bye against the rest of the field. And the rest of the field in this potential final matchup is AOE Unleashed versus SDC Death Card. So, Nick, you get to start us off for our featured matchup. What is your call?
All right, so this one's tough because SDC Death Cards have had a bye. So their current record of 11-1 is really a record of 8-1, and it's really a record of 7-1 because they had a forfeit. And you know what? To the credit, and I said this earlier, to the credit of 4Monkeys1 coach, they were able to get a league, and they probably could have won that game number 2. That said, AOE Unleashed, they're coming in with Mel Scout, who typically last season, I said this during playoffs, he is the most selfless jungler in the league, and that can be a blessing, but it can also be a curse. When he gets put on something like a Zinzao, like he was last season, he ended up not actually doing what the champion was meant to do because he played so selflessly. So if they put Mel Scout on a champion that's supposed to play selfless, then perhaps AOE Unleashed take it 2-1. But considering where the meta is right now, and considering that SDC Death Cards are on a hot streak, they only have one game lost the entire season. I'm going to have to put it at SDC Death Cards 2-1. As well, like if you take a look at season-long KDAs, everyone on SDC's KDA is above 5, and everyone except for their support Pierce Blade is above 6. It is just absolutely amazing. I think SDC Death Cards are the 3rd best team in the league right now, and I think that for our purposes, AOE is 4th or 5th in the league. So I think it's 2-1 for SDC.
Axeman!
For me, this one's a 2-1 for AOE. I have infinite belief in AOE, but Heacher just told me that he agreed with Ravencat to play Yumi versus Soraka top lane.
This is true.
So I'm a little shook. I'm a little shook now. Maybe they drop a game.
All right, 2-1 is the call from Axeman. I will go ahead and then we'll finish off with Camcom. I think this will be a 2-1 in favor of SDC Death Cards. With Mel Scout coming back in, I have a lot of faith that Paxax will get the resources he needs to carry one of the games. But as mentioned by Nick, can be a bit of a blessing or a curse in a jungle meta to have a jungler that does want to sack for his bottom lane. So I have a lot of faith in Paxax, but this SDC Death Card squad has looked solid. So I they will be able to clean up 2 of the games, but there will be one in which I think AOE pops off 2-1 SDC Death Cards for me. Cam, wrap us up.
All right, I gotta split the table. If we're playing split the room, we're gonna win the game now. No, we've got 2-1 in favor of Unleashed, right? Like I'm a true Paxax believer. You gotta look at the bot lane. Paxax, we saw him last week. We saw him a week before a little bit as well, right? This man, he goes 10-0. He goes 15-0 every game against top teams. How is this possible? We'll never know. You can guarantee that even if he's playing weak side, he's still going to find the resources that he needs to try and snowball his lane, snowball the game. He's just in always win condition. And when you have a solid win condition that you can rely on every game, I think it's a lot easier to find wins. Death Cards, yes, they're currently up in the standings, but I don't think we're yet to see them have that solid win condition that Unleashed does have.
All right, that'll wrap it up for our predictions. You've heard it from the analysts. Now we'll see if the players can deliver on the Rift. It is time to head to the analyst desk to prepare for our series between AOE Unleashed and SDC Deathcars. But before we get to that, we will throw it to a very short break, so stick around. We will be back with the beginning of the analyst desk and the series in just a couple